Welcome back, everybody. This is more of a community video, more so than it is one of my fun, quirky ones. Because frankly, this is not a fun, quirky topic, and it is one that is pretty near and dear to my heart. With that being said, I want to address the elephant in the room. Charlie Kirk is dead. Now, in life, Charlie liked to paint himself as like a defender of freedom. But if we're being honest, his brand of freedom always came at the cost of somebody else. And when it comes to guns, that expense was paid in blood. And unfortunately today, it was paid with his own blood. Now, I feel really compelled to talk about this because I am someone who, at length on this channel, has made fun of Charlie Kirk and people like him. And I probably will still continue to do that. Not Charlie Kirk, because now, I want to be very clear. I don't think violence is ever the answer. I grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts, which is infamously known as being a very dangerous place. And I can attest to that. Having grown up there, I witnessed gun violence. Many of my peers are no longer with me due to gun violence. I've witnessed my neighbors' houses being shot up. There was a drive-by shooting right behind our house once. It was an everyday part of life for us. We even had a little game when we were out playing outside with our friends called Fireworks and Run. And if you heard a pop pop, you had to run until you were sure that they were fireworks or, the danger had passed. It might sound depressing, but it's the truth. And I did see the footage today, and I have to say it was very disturbing. And not disturbing because, I was witnessing a human life being snuffed out, but because I have witnessed human lives being snuffed out before, and it always takes me back. This is a man who said that there would have to be casualties every year in order to defend, the Second Amendment. And he's now one of those casualties. And while this was happening, there was also a school shooting in Denver, Colorado. Another one, I think the second one this week, as far as I know. And I have a kid in high school now, and it is one of my greatest fears that he may not come home someday. Fortunately for us, we do live in Massachusetts where, I think we're still zero school shootings so far, and I hope we keep it that way. But for those of you who saw the footage, I want you to understand that every child we've lost in school shootings suffered the same fate that Charlie Kirk did. They suffered the same way. They were snuffed out before they even had a chance. And it happens every day in this country. Violence doesn't really solve anything. It just leaves giant holes in families and communities and classrooms. But I have a very hard time feeling sorry for Charlie Kirk. I feel terrible for his daughters. Someone in my Discord group said it best today. This isn't really poetic justice. It is poetic irony. True poetic justice would be gun reform becoming a thing from this. And unfortunately, I don't think that'll be the case because Republicans are really deeply in bed with the NRA. That being said, I would love for Charlie Kirk to be the last casualty in all this. Those are my tree frogs. They agree with me. I don't think he will be, though. In fact, I know he won't be. And I think that's really the real tragedy here, is that this is going to keep happening. I'm also worried that Charlie Kirk might become a martyr from all this, which will then harm all of the marginalized communities that he has targeted. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and if I see it happen, you can rest assured I will speak up on it, because I will not let that happen. I do think we have to be very vocal to make sure that he is kind of a victim from his own rhetoric. And I don't think we have to be cruel to remind people about that, but, it is a conversation worth having. Like I said, I wish he would be the last one, but you and I both know he will not be.